What's going on, FG fam? Welcome to another episode of the Miami Marlins Franchise here on MLB the Show 21. We are getting right into this sim of the month of June, and we are rolling on through. We lost that last game against the Philadelphia Phillies, but now into a series against the Atlanta Braves. We're going to jump into this ball game tied in the 10th inning. Extra inning baseball, nothing better, so make sure you drop a like on the video. Help support this channel in this crazy YouTube algorithm. And if this is the first time you're ever watching one of my videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button for a lot more franchise. That's what we do here. And as you can see, the Marlins having a tough time bringing that run home. Javi Baez strikes out. The throw on to first will confirm the out. That happens many times in our Marlins episodes. And then we got Michael McHugh on the mound trying to shut down this top of the 11th to give us a chance to walk it off. Dansby Swanson, though, with a single into right field. Runner held up at third. So another chance. 8 pitches in the at-bat, but the strikeout is completed of Freddie Freeman, who stands there looking at the pitch. Ronald Acuna Jr., though, up at the plate, and he slams one out to left field. It is gone. Absolutely jackhammered into the water fountain in left field. It's Acuna's 10th home run of the year. It's a 437-footer, and the Atlanta Braves take the lead in the top of the 11th inning. We go to the bottom half, 9-6. We've got to get some runs in order to make this a game again, and thrown out at the plate is Javi Baez. That isn't going to help our cause. Tyler Stevenson strikes out to end the ball game, and the Braves are able to get the victory on the road here at South Beach Park, right in front of our home fans. Our rival comes in and makes a big comeback in the 9th inning, takes it to extras, and just slams us in the 11th inning. So a very disappointing performance to start this episode off. Peter Welch gets hurt in AAA. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. And it's time for the draft. A lot of you submitted players a while ago, and there's a good bit of you who have made it. We'll go over that in a bit. But first, in the first round, we had the last pick for having the best record last year, but Henry Ponzone looked like somebody we wanted to bring in our next pick. Now, we have a lot of picks, so let's go over all these guys that we are going to select, and then we'll go to the results afterwards. Ken Bowen was our second pick. He was a comp pick. Then we had Hank Dugan, who we would bring into the squad. That was technically our second round pick, a starting pitcher from Pennsylvania. Then we had Kevin Ryan, also from Pennsylvania, but he is a relief pitcher. They went to school together at Pitt, and we'll see how that ends up working out for us. Garrett Young from Tennessee is a closing pitcher. It seems like every year we select a closing pitcher in the draft. We did it again. He was a comp pick as well. Frederick Curtis, a later round pick as we start getting towards the end of this draft, 3rd round. Frederick Curtis coming from Canada, a little bit of an international player. Another international player, Felipe Lorenz, the 19-year-old right-hander who actually bats lefty. Weird for a relief pitcher to be a little bit backwards like that, but we brought him in the 4th round. 5th round, Gregorio Aguero was a pick for us out of the Dominican Republic as well. And we also selected Lou Adler from New Jersey. He's a switch-hitting starting pitcher who throws right-handed. So very unique. He's got a 96-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. And our final pick of this draft was Eric Wada, coming from Japan. He's 22 years old. We're hoping maybe he could have some potential. So let's see. How did the draft actually go? We got Henry Ponzone in that first round. 73 overall. B potential. He's extremely durable. A first baseman with power already and great vision. He's got some discipline. He's got some clutch. He's not going to do anything on the base paths, but you don't need first baseman to do anything on the base paths. Ken Bowen at third base, a 65 overall, C potential guy, but he's got really good contact. The 19-year-old from South Carolina, so he has an opportunity to develop. So does Hank Dugan. Nice starting pitcher. He's a 69. Nice. 22 years old, B potential. He's got some stamina. He needs to develop there a little bit, and I think he can. Kevin Ryan, relief pitcher. He's a 62. Now only 75 potential. He's 18 years old. That potential could go up into the 80s, making him a B eventually. His velo is really good. He's a hard thrower of the baseball. Garrett Young, another closer coming into the organization. He's a 60 overall, B potential. We've recently started to use some of our older draft pick closers as trade bait, so Garrett Young will now take the place down there. 84 is his potential. Frederick Curtis is a guy with really good contact out in left field. He's got mediocre speed for an outfielder, a decent arm, so we'll see. He's a little raw. Maybe he can develop. Another relief pitcher, Felipe Lorenz, 19 years old, 68 overall relief pitcher. We can just use anybody in our relief stable right now, so we'll see what he can bring to the table. Gregorio Aguero was a complete waste of a pick. We will not be signing him. Lou Adler, one of the steals of the draft from New Jersey, a 60 overall B potential. Look at the stamina on him. He could really do a lot of complete games in his career. Eric Wada is a good player, but his potential of getting better is just not there. He's fast, and he hits pretty decent. Might be a career minor leaguer, or he might be one of those guys that you call up, send down throughout the year. Now taking a look at your user prospects, this is where all of you have gone that have made it in. If you didn't make it in, you probably responded to the post a little bit too late because, like I said, I record these things way ahead of time so that I can keep up with my episodes. So this is where you all have gone. We've got Alexander Jefferson with the Mets. I think the first one taken here was Tyrone Taylor of the Pirates. I think he was the first overall pick. So congratulations. If you made it, let me know in the comments section below what you think of your player, what you think of your brand new team, and what the prospects might be of us actually seeing you sometime in this series. That's why I didn't go through a crazy amount of detail like I have in other draft episodes. For one, we're moving through the seasons a little bit quicker, so I wanted to get through a month in every episode. That is one reason. The other reason is simply I don't know that these guys in the draft are going to make a big impact on the series moving forward because they take a while to come up, and I'm hoping the Marlins will win in the next 1 or 2 seasons. So, Marlins up 1-0 in that game against the Nationals. Got a nice little 4-game win streak going before losing to the Mets 8-1 and then getting completely swept by the Mets in the next 2 games. So that stopped our winning streak, but we've got a 39-26 record going into a series, a little 2-game set in the Bronx against the New York Yankees. We had an episode where we played a full game against the Yankees. We won't be doing that today, but we will take a look at these critical situations. Look at this. Scoreless in the bottom of the 9th when Javi Baez comes up to the plate and gets a gapper. They cut that off really well, but the throw to second was just not there. So Baez on second. It's Bobby Bradley who yanks one down the first baseline, but that'll at least get Baez over to third base for Spencer Torkelson, who grounds one over to short. The throw is in time, and we got to go to extra innings. Casey Schmidt up at the plate. A little bit of a wild pitch there. It gets the Yankee runner over to third base. Will they enact their revenge? Well, we'll have to see because Casey Schmidt takes a walk. That'll bring up Victor Caratini, and he will fly behind the catcher. A little pop foul, and that is caught for out number 2. Chance for Ryan Muller to get out of this. Luke Voigt, ground ball over to second. It's thrown on to second base. and we get on through. Carson Fulmer will come into the ball game. He's been pitching pretty well this season. This will be his 21st appearance. Coming up against Tyler Stevenson, and he didn't pitch very well on that one. Left that one over the plate for Stevenson, and he cracks one out to left center field, 422 feet. Only the 6th homer of the year for Tyler Stevenson, but it comes in a huge spot as the Miami Marlins will get the win here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Game scoreless all the way to this point. What a wild game. Absolutely. You would expect way more offense with the lineups that both of these teams boast, but the Marlins are able to secure a victory regardless, and it's probably the most unlikely guy in the lineup to get it done. Tyler Stevenson hasn't exactly been a world beater since he got with the club, but we get a win. Into the 10th inning again, another critical situation, 4-all in the bottom of the 10th. We've got some big players coming up. Mike Trout's on second base, Juan Soto at the plate, nobody away, and Juan Soto takes a beanball on his back. So that'll put 2 on with nobody away against Luis Cessa. Here's a bare ground ball from Gleyber Torres. He would have liked to beat his old squad, but he does move the runners over and cause the Yankees to intentionally walk Javi Baez. I don't know that that was smart. Bases bomb for Bobby Bradley, and that's going to get it done. He knew it as soon as it came off the bat. Into the gap, and there it is. Mike Trout comes across the plate, and the Marlins complete this W. They almost lost it. They blew it in the 8th inning with a 3-run inning for the Yankees, but Michael McHugh is going to end up with a win, so congrats there, Mike. Now we move along after 2 games sweeping the New York Yankees. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves, and we're playing the Cubs. Look at that, a 10-2 ball game. They want us to get a triple, a hit for the cycle. I don't do any of those moments. I'm not going to jump into a ball game in a 10-2 ball game. No sense in doing that. We do win it 12-2. We win the next one 3-2, the next one 5-2, and the next one 3-2. So every game, the Cubs scored 2 innings. So they already set the bar. That's all we had to do was score more than 2. Now we play the Philadelphia Phillies. Max Meyer ends up getting hurt in that ball game, but we do get a win. Jesus Luzardo comes back off the DL, so that is big. And then here we go into a series against Philadelphia. We had a nice win streak going, as we did have a 7-game win streak, but Philadelphia snapped it in the middle of the series. So, you know what that means? It's time to start a new win streak, as we had beat them in the rubber game, and now we're going to go to Milwaukee at American Family Field in our full game of this episode, as we will be taking on the Milwaukee Brew Crew. Let's see. We've faced them in the playoffs before, and it has been a hell of a series. So let's see what we can do against Luis Perdomo and this Brewer squad. Now, he's 5-5, but he's got a good whip. He's got a good ERA on the season, so it's not all his fault. Meanwhile, Kurt Blanks is 3-2, and it is pretty much his fault. A pretty bad whip and not a great ERA, but we'll see if he can turn some things around. Christian Yelich with a double in the gap right off the bat here in the bottom of the 1st inning. That is going to hurt Kurt Blanks. Kurt gets hurt as the throw to the plate is not in time, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead. Yet later on in the bottom of the 3rd, it's Christian Yelich up with 2 out and a full count, and he hits that thing deep out to right field. No doubt home run, 397 feet for his 21st of the year, and he extends the Brew Crew's lead to 2-zip, both RBIs on his account. So the Brewers owing their lead in large part, and as a matter of fact, 100% in part, to Christian Yelich as we move on in this ball game. Top of the 6th inning, it is Juan Soto trying to bring our Marlins back with an absolute moonshot out to right center field. It is gone, 416 feet. That's only Juan Soto's 14th home run of the year, but it comes at a pretty good time here to cut a lead in half. There's a throw down to second, but a stolen base, and that'll leave Gabriel Moreno an opportunity with a runner in scoring position, and that runner's going to come home on this single that Moreno turns into a double, as a matter of fact. So now on the 3-1 game, Kurt Blanks gets a strikeout to get out of that inning, but he's already given up 3 runs. And now Miguel Castro comes in, and we are going to try to smack him around a little bit. We're going to need to if we want to come back. Tyler Stevenson, though, gets caught on the slider away for out number 2 in the top of the 7th inning. Might be Worthy gets a little look here. Number 69, nice himself, and he will strike out to get through the 7th. So Xander Bogaerts comes up to the plate. There is a ground ball over to second, and the double play is turned. That is a big moment right there. 3-2 count here, though, and this one is going back. There's an opportunity in right, and what a grab up against the fence by Aiken. So Charlie Aiken saves a run there. Dylan Tate coming into the game to try to shut us down. A 3.22 ERA on the season. And Gleyber Torres going to try to make his day a little tougher. There's a gapper all the way to the wall. That one goes. Comes off the wall, and we are going to try to score our runner all the way from first. He does score. It's Guillen in, cutting this lead to 3-2. So we got the runner on second, but Charlie Aiken, despite his great catch, has some troubles at the plate. He'll strike out for the first out. Mike Trout, though, has an opportunity to do it. Can he do it here in the top of the 8th? Mike Trout out of here to left field. Goodbye, baby. Mike Trout's 18th bomb of the year is 393 feet, and it will provide the Marlins with their first lead of the ball game. They have made the comeback here in the 8th inning. Now they're going to have to hold on to it, and it's Ryan Muller they're going to have to trust to do so. 4.23 ERA for him on the season. It hasn't been great. His averages against are, mediocre at best. And there's a strikeout right there to start us off in the bottom of the 9th. Tyrone Taylor comes up. This is a pop fly to shallow center field, and Trout ranges in to make the grab. 1 out away from completing the comeback. Xander Bogaerts just sits there looking at a running fastball inside. So there you go. The Miami Marlins complete the comeback here on the road against the Brew Crew, 4-3. Kurt Blanks does end up getting the win despite giving up 3 runs because Dylan Tate gave up 3 runs in not even a full inning. So Mike Trout, 1 for 4 with a homer on the day. We know Juan Soto hit a bomb. We end up getting the next game against the Brew Crew as well. Brandon Hernandez is injured for a couple of weeks, but then he comes back. I don't get that at all. But we have a critical situation against the Brewers. They're able to come back on us in that next one. We did not jump in, so they end a little win streak we had going there. We're ready to start a new one, though. We have a 1-game win streak as we do win that last game against the Brewers. This is how the numbers are shaking up right now. Juan Soto is playing extremely well, batting .348. He's just not hitting the amount of home runs maybe we expected him to, but he's still playing really well. Javi Baez is having a great year. Spencer Torkelson is having an underrated year for us as well. Over in the pitching stable, Severino's 9-0. with a 2.91 ERA. I have not highlighted that yet in an episode. It might be coming, though, because Severino is having an amazing freaking season, and we've got to highlight that at some point. Sterling Olander is batting over 300 with 6 home runs. Another guy doing really well is Anthony McGaffick. He's batting 300s with 7 home runs, and for a catcher, that's really freaking good. So we're hoping that some of these young guys can really make the turn. Now, one thing I find interesting is DL Hall's ERA is over 4, but he's 15-1 on the season. 15-1. How is that even possible? Ash Laser is hitting really well, but his home run numbers are down this year. Batting .311, but only 3 home runs on the board. Bobby O'Connor's batting .329 with 3 home runs. Robin Hood batting .274, just calling out some of the users. Jerry Laponte, we know, got hurt earlier in the season, so that kind of sucks for him. Nino Guzman is 5-1 with a really, really nice ERA. It's like 1-something. Connie Campos as well, but he hasn't pitched as many innings. If we're looking at the All-Star break coming up in the next episode, now, I'm not going to do what I have been doing with the All-Star episode. We're going to do that very quickly. We're going to run through the entire All-Star weekend because that episode is going to feature the entire month of July, not just focus on All-Star week. So those of you who basically don't watch those videos just because they're only the All-Star video, you do want to watch this next one because there are going to be gameplay moments in that game. It is not only going to be the All-Star break. So Juan Soto's probably our best chance, and Mike Trout as well to make the All-Star game. They have been really, really good in the outfield. Bryce Harper's looking really good to make it as well. Max Meyer's looking really good to make it as a pitcher. Looking in AAA, they like DL Hall. I don't know, a 4.48 ERA, but man, he's 15-1. They said throw him in there, please. Joe Hagan's doing really well down there. A 1.50 ERA. I don't know. You guys in the comments, you say get rid of Muller. Do you think we should send Muller down and bring up Joe Hagan? I don't know if it's possible for us to do it, but it might be something we need to look at. Abel Alvarado, I know that's one of your user prospects. He is the first-ranked third baseman, I believe that is. Richie Hawkins is number 1 to make it in left field. Xavier Marchant is number 2 in right field. So AAA doing pretty well with getting some guys on the list as well. AA, let's see. Ethan Smith. I'm pretty sure one of you guys made Ethan Smith out there. Just trying to see where all your users might be, because there is definitely an opportunity for you guys to maybe make an appearance in this All-Star episode coming up if you do something special. Ash Laser's going to make it. Nino Guzman is going to make it as well. So Ash Laser might have to be our player lock in that one. I know he's a user prospect, so I like to give him a little spotlight when we get a chance to. There's a lot of dudes like that on our Marlins squad, so when I get an opportunity to give you guys a little bit of screen time, I like to take those opportunities. Nick Prado is another dude that might make it as well, though. So we'll see what ends up happening. We do have the futures game, so that will give me an opportunity to player lock somebody as well. But like I said, we're going to run through all that stuff really quickly in the next episode, because we're going to have gameplay of actual regular season games to get to, because we're getting into the really exciting part of the season where we get into that pennant race section. And it's going to be exciting because we're 8 games behind the Mets. We have had it rough against the Mets all year long. As far as the division goes, we're number 2 in record against the division. But we have been playing really, really well this season. And if it wasn't for those Mets in our way, we would probably be the second best team aside from the Dodgers. So we're like 3rd in the NL right now. But it's going to cause us to be a wild card team if we can't jump over those Metsies. But yet, if you look at this American League, if we were in the American League, we'd be the best team there in the American League. So National League, really strong. Balance of power is not there between the AL and the NL right now. We're 8 games back, having a better record than anybody in the other conference. That is crazy. So, what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of everything that happened in this episode? Anything you might want to comment, please go ahead and leave a comment. It helps for engagement. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Comments help. Likes help. Hell, hit that subscribe button if you're into franchise mode, because that is exactly what we do here. And that's all that we do here in all different kinds of sports games. I hope to see you guys around the channel. Make sure you check out the description below. There's a link to my Discord. There's a link to my Twitch. Come hang out with us. We have a great community that we're building here, FG fam, and I want you all to be a part of it. I want you to be a part of the Discord. I want you to be a part of my Twitch chat. I want you to come by. I want you to say hello. And if you want to see some more franchise, you can just click right here and see some more franchise. I feel you.